Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar entitled Why Earn an Online EdD at Cairn University, the Key Benefits and Distinctives. We're excited you're here and look forward to sharing how Cairn's program can help you achieve your academic and professional goals. Before we dive into our program and what we're going to be doing today, I want to take a moment just to introduce you to Cairn University. Cairn is a private Christian university just located outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We offer over 70 undergraduate and graduate programs, including a number of growing online degrees designed for working professionals like you. At the heart of everything we do is our mission to educate students to serve Christ and the church, society, and the world as biblically minded, well-educated, and professionally competent men and women of character. Our commitment to academic excellence, a biblical worldview, and professional preparation defines the experience here at Cairn, including our EdD program, which you'll be hearing about today. We're going to go through a number of things today. My name is Tom Sherf. I serve as a Vice President of Marketing Enrollment here at Cairn, and I'll be your moderator throughout the session. We're going to be covering a number of facts today, both fast facts about Cairn's School of Education, some distinctives of our EdD program, what it means to be a doctoral learner here at Cairn, and the admission process and requirements. We're also going to be hearing from two of our academic leaders who bring a wealth of experience to this conversation. Very excited to introduce our first guest, Dr. Stacey Bose, the Dean of the School of Education. Dr. Bose brings an extensive experience in educational leadership and will share what makes our EdD program here uniquely Cairn.
Welcome, everyone.
Also joining us as well is Dr. Emir Ruiz Esparza, who's the Vice President of Institutional Effectiveness. Dr. Ruiz Esparza will offer additional insights into the academic excellence and support that define the doctoral experience at Cairn.
Welcome, everybody. It's good to have you.
Love it. Thank you both for being here. Thank you for being able to share with us. As we move into the meat of our webinar, Dr. Bose, can you provide some background for us about the School of Education?
Sure. Thanks, Tom. Our mission here in the School of Education is to prepare highly qualified, biblically minded educators, practitioners, and leaders who are well equipped to serve in diverse educational and clinical settings, both locally and globally. Our vision is to empower our students to impact the world for Christ through education and service. We want our graduates to go out and change the world one student at a time.
I love it. That's great, Stacey. Can you talk a little bit more about the program and the departments overall?
Sure. We offer undergraduate teacher education programs. We have certification programs. We have certificates. We have dual level programs, master's programs, and now we're really excited about launching a doctoral level program.
Great. Can you talk about your team as well as some of the students and what it looks like for the overall number of people who are involved in the program?
We are blessed to have a wonderful team of faculty in the School of Education. We have 6 full-time faculty. We have 2 professor emeriti, who are some professors who've been here at the university a long time, as well as part-time and adjunct faculty. We have approximately 175 undergraduate and graduate students that we serve in the School of Education.
Thanks. That's great, Stacey. Being an alum of the School of Education myself here at Cairn, I can say that the faculty as well as the students are some of the best that we have to offer. I know that this new EdD as well is super exciting, our first doctoral program here at Cairn. Can you talk a little bit more about the goal of the program, Stacey?
Yes, like you said, we are very excited to launch this new program. And like the other programs in the School of Education, our main focus is to equip Christian educators. But this specific program seeks to equip Christian educators who are serving in educational institutions and organizations around the world and in the United States, of course. But we want to help train leaders, influential educational leaders who are passionate about about living out the principles we find in God's word in Micah 6:8. We're training the next generation of Christian leaders who will shine wherever the Lord places them by loving mercy, acting justly, and walking humbly with the Lord.
All right, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is slide 10. Please don't mess this up. Slide 10, Tom. You can do this. Here we go. Gap of 5 seconds. Well, that's great. Our world is in need of more biblically minded leaders who will live boldly out their faith. Dr. Bose, can you tell us more about the program? What type of courses the students will take? Just a general overview of the curriculum?
Sure, Tom. So as we can see here on the screen, we see the curriculum sheet, which guides a student through the program. The degree at the top is listed. The program is educational leadership, and the actual degree is an EdD. It is a 54 credit program, and we can see that it has 15 credits in our leadership core. There are 6 credits in Bible foundations. Students who do have a background in the Bible can receive 3 credits of advanced standing. And there are 9 credits in research, 9 credits of dissertation coursework. The dissertation courses, as we'll talk about in just a minute, are full semester courses and are designed to walk a student through the dissertation process. And then finally, there are 15 credits in a specialization. 3 of the specialization credits can come from an elective, which a student has previously taken in their postmaster's coursework.
So you mentioned the specializations a little bit. Can you go into a little bit more detail about them, how that works out, not just the courses?
Sure. So we currently, as I mentioned, have 2 specializations. We have the first one, which is in K-12 leadership. And this track is designed specifically for those who aspire to serve as a principal or a school administrator in a K-12 school. The other track, strategic leadership, draws courses on systems thinking from our business program, and it's for leaders who may desire to work in a school district or school leaders who work in a district office, perhaps on the business side of an educational institution. So these students will receive extra training in business practices, data analytics, instead of more of a traditional principal training.
I understand. That's great. Those distinctives are very specific in terms of the specializations. I know that's really helpful for students to know where they can go track-wise. One of the biggest things that jumped out at me about the program when I was reading into it was the dissertation model. Can you let us know a little bit about the dissertation? I know the program uses a dissertation-first model that's really unique. Can you talk about what that looks like and how that helps the student?
Sure. As I mentioned on the slide with the curriculum sheet, we have designed 3 full semester dissertation courses to walk students through the dissertation process, starting in year 1 of the program. So they're going to be guided through their dissertation. So as we can see on the screen, Dissertation 1, this course, students will select their dissertation topic. They will write their chapter 1 of their dissertation, and they will secure a person who will serve as their dissertation chair to take this journey of writing the dissertation with them. In Dissertation 2, which would happen in the second year of coursework, the students will write Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 of their dissertation, and then they will defend their proposal. So their proposal is Chapters 1 through 3 of their dissertation. In Dissertation 3, in the third year of coursework, students will conduct their research, and then they will write about how things went in their research in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, and then they will defend their final dissertation as the final part of their program.
Wow, that's great. Thanks for sharing about the dissertation courses. Can you shape through some of the course sequencing and talk about a few of the other courses as well?
Sure. So you can see here on the screen, the coursework is spread out over 3 years. Students take classes fall, spring, and summer, and the program is designed that you would be taking 2 classes every semester. So that's 6 classes or 18 credits a year. Each fall starts, as I mentioned, with one of the dissertation courses. And if students do not finish their dissertation in the 3 years and the 3 years of coursework, they can register to continue on year 4, year 5 by taking what we call dissertation continuing studies to continue as a student while they finish their dissertation.
Now, there's some program features, right, that are unique to RDD. Can you share a little bit about those with our audience?
So, with the exception of those 3 dissertation courses in our dissertation-first model, the other courses in the program are what we would call our traditional 7-week online courses. So, as I mentioned, the courses are online. They're asynchronous, but we have built into most of the courses what we would call synchronous sessions. So, you're getting the best of both. You're getting asynchronous courses with a synchronous blend. And this blend of synchronous and asynchronous helps students to build what we would call the dissertation or doctoral community. If students are in a different time zone, which students, may wonder, well, what if I'm in a time zone where I really can't be in a synchronous session? We do have alternatives built into those courses to help those students. All of our courses have been designed with Cairn's signature 7RD2 format. So in each unit of the courses, students read, research, collaborate, and report on their learning. Another unique feature is that students are assigned a faculty advisor who can assist them as they plan their courses each semester. So this advisor provides guidance to walk them through each year of their coursework of the program. Through the dissertation courses and the synchronous sessions, doctoral students will have the opportunity to connect with other doctoral students and participate in our doctoral student community. And then lastly, I would say one of the program features is that this program has a doctoral program chair and a coordinator of the EdD program to ensure that students have the support they need and really have an outstanding experience as they progress through the program.
Thanks, Dr. Bose. It sounds like there's a lot of support for our students who are interested in our program. I know, though, that we also, Dr. Ruiz Esparza, I know that you've been developing a learner disposition for the new program. This is one of the unique aspects of our program is that the emphasis on dispositions of that doctoral learner. It's not about just what you know or what you do, right? But who you are becoming throughout the journey. Can you talk a little bit about the kind of learner this program is designed for, how the EdD shapes the attitudes, habits, and character of our students as scholar practitioners and Christian leaders?
Absolutely. I think that's, certainly one of those things that we're excited to have a part of this program. We believe that there are intentional processes and intentional practices really that help develop the scholar practitioner's identity. You can almost think of them as these habits of the mind and habits of practice. So the first one I'd like to talk about is the self-directed learner. Essentially, as a self-directed learner, you're going to assume responsibility for your education and your outcomes. How are you taking initiative to secure resources or reflect on or adjust strategies for your own learning goals? And one of the things that we've done with these dispositions is these things are embedded within the curriculum, the program. So for example, self-directed learner, in one of the modules in the Dissertation 1 course, there is actually a module called Goal Setting and Developing the Dissertation Timeline. This is you starting to embody that aspect of this self-directed learner. There's also this biblical-minded scholar. We want to conduct research with integrity. There's an ethical responsibility that we have to conduct this research with integrity. And I think there's a posture of humility as well, how we respect others and the excellence that we bring to what we're doing in terms of scholarship. The other element is how are we going to make appropriate connections really between God's truth and the discipline or the topic that you're studying is such a critical piece to this as well. The other is an intentional collaborator. How are you cultivating a culture of collegiality, really, mutual respect among your peers? How are you exchanging constructive feedback and encouraging peers in ways that help promote and sustain them in terms of their academics and their professional growth? And as I think about, where this is embedded in our program, it's in those synchronous sessions that Dr. Bose just talked about. It allows those doctoral learners really to process course content with other doctoral students. Then there's this reflective practitioner. Now, the reflective practitioner is committed to evidence-based inquiry. They critically engage with diverse perspectives, and they're thoughtful really in applying scholarly knowledge to deepen their understanding and help guide them in meaningful action. And this is demonstrated when that doctoral learner gets their dissertation chair, and as their committee starts to build, they're going to be engaging with their chair, their content expert, their methodologist, trying to engage and participate in this dialogue where they are really becoming that reflective practitioner. Finally, is this independent researcher. This is where the doctoral learner is now starting to exercise agency, specifically in designing, conducting, applying research that really contributes to scholarship and their professional practice. And as we look at this particular disposition, there's an element where we have this scaffolded research design. And within that, you saw earlier the 3 different dissertation courses. There's milestones in there that you have to achieve. You're creating problem statements, developing the literature review, and what's happening as you're doing these different dissertation courses. There's a gradual development of autonomy that's happening for you as this learner while being given constant feedback through the courses. As I was thinking about this particular set of dispositions, Proverbs 18:15 says this: "The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out." There's both intent and action in this verse. There's this posture of the heart and mind, and actually in another translation, instead of heart, it says the mind of the discerning. It says it in other translations. So there's this posture of the heart that has a desire to pursue wisdom. And then there's this action of seeking it out, as it talks about it in the scripture. So, but to do what? To apply it to life. And so when we look at these 5 dispositions, they're really to help build that scholar practitioner identity. And it's really exciting to have these as part of our program.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruiz Esparza. Can you also, I know you went into detail with the dispositions. Can you also talk about criteria for the program, and not only how people are going to grow and learn, right? That's what the dispositions talk about. But for those who are coming into the program, what are some of the criteria, like the first steps?
I think the first step is to complete the application. There are certainly other parts. It's really process, but you need to submit references, write a testimony of faith, as you see here on the screen, and you also need to provide transcripts from your master's program, send a writing sample, and participate in an interview with the dean or the program chair as part of that admissions process.
Wow, that information was really helpful. Also, while I have you both here, I wanted to ask a few frequently asked questions about the program that we have been receiving from some of the prospective students who have been showing interest to our admissions counselors for the EdD. For instance, Dr. Bose, one of the questions that has been reoccurring is how long does it typically take to complete the EdD program?
That's a great question, Tom. If a student continues in the program, taking 2 courses each term, they could potentially finish it in 3 years. The
Mm.
program is designed for students who to complete the dissertation at the same time as their coursework. And some students can keep up that pace of coursework and
Mhm.
dissertation, but other students may need to progress at a slower pace, especially when dissertation work. In that case, students can register. If they don't finish in the 3 years, they can register for what we call dissertation continuing study after completing all of their coursework. And this allows them to continue working on completing the dissertation after they finish the 3 years of coursework.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. Another question, Dr. Ruiz Esparza. What we get is the question from people, is the program really 100% online? Like, are there any required campus components? I mean, most of these working professionals and out-of-state students are, really drilling down on this one particular question. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. The quick answer is there are no on-campus components. It is 100% online. Dr. Bose talked earlier about there are some synchronous sessions in some of our courses. But aside from that, and she talked about, if someone misses it, there's ways that we can adjust for that. And so if someone's unable to attend, they can watch the recording and reflect on it. There'll be an assignment related to that because, as she described earlier, there's time zone differences with some of these doctoral learners.
And a follow-up as well regarding some program components. I know that Dr. Bose talked about our dissertation-first model, and we still continue to get the questions like support. What type of support will I get during my dissertation? A lot of students, they hear dissertation and they get a little fear about doing it alone and are just getting a sense of how much guidance is there really outside of what's described in the course curriculum. Can you talk to that as well?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that you'll find is the dissertation courses are strategically designed to provide support for students progressing through the dissertation stages. We mentioned earlier about the Zoom sessions with collaboration with your peers. However, I think one of the key points, and this is what I love about our program, is within the first semester, you're going to get your dissertation chair. I think that's critical. That feedback is so important, and that connection is so important. And developing that relationship will be critical to a doctoral learner's success.
Hey, one more question for you while I have you here. Regarding the differences between the K through 12 leadership and strategic leadership specializations. We highlighted those early on in the presentation, but I think the question that students or prospective students usually are asking is, which one will fit me best, right? Which one is for me?
Yeah. Well, I think when you look at the K through 12 leadership specialization, it is designed for individuals who are seeking to work as a school principal, an administrator, maybe a curriculum director, or a lead teacher. Now, the strategic leadership specialization is for educational leaders serving in other capacities, like a school district office, or maybe they're in some sort of educational or organizational type of business. Or maybe it's Christian school leaders in a local church or parachurch ministry. Or maybe it's an administrator in higher ed may also benefit from that particular specialization.
Just a couple more questions, Dr. Bose, to you. Speaking about the curriculum, how is the Bible integrated into the program without feeling like extra coursework? We know it's not what our program is built for, but what does that look like? And also, how could that benefit our alumni who've already had or may have received a Bible minor or took some biblical courses in their graduate programs?
Mhm. So As with most of our courses here at Cairn, the Bible is naturally integrated into your coursework. So as you're examining course content, you're thinking of how does this align with the truth of God's word, or perhaps how doesn't it align with the truth of God's word? And so we want our students to be, biblically minded educators thinking about all truth as God's truth. But then in addition, we do have those 2 Bible courses that are built into the curriculum. So one of those Bible courses is on Christian theology. And then we have another Bible course, which is called Biblical Foundations of Leadership. Students who have studied the Bible previously in their undergraduate or their master's program can receive what we call advanced standing, which is 3 credits of advanced standing for the Christian theology course. We still want everybody to take that Biblical Foundations of Leadership course because we feel that's a key component of this program.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. And another question for you, Dr. Bose. Faculty credentials and talking about faculty, their experience. I know that's a very important component for any doctoral program or prospective doctoral student. Can you talk about the faculty and who is teaching the courses, their qualifications?
Mhm. So as we shared at the beginning, this program is housed in the School of Education. And so we have a great team of faculty here in the School of Education. In particular, we'll have a chair of the EdD program who will oversee this program and teach courses in this program. But we have a wonderful pool of adjuncts, which I didn't mention previously, who already teach in our graduate programs here in the School of Education and in the School of Business. And so we have a highly trained team of adjuncts who have years of experience in lots of different educational organizations and businesses who will also be teaching in this program.
Just 2 final questions. One of them is regarding financial aid or scholarship funding for the EdD students. I know that's always a question that I think our admissions office gets. And before you 2 jump at it to answer, I think I can answer this question as it's usually entwined with the admissions process. And for prospective students, the simple answer is yes, there is financial aid available for our doctoral program as well as scholarship available. And I can go into detail. Essentially for our program, the cost per credit is $750. Our program is competitively priced for our area and is absolutely comparative to other similar institutions. Programs. The other thing is, outside of just the basic costs, is scholarships. For Cairn alumni in particular, we have a EdD Pioneer Award. This is offered to Cairn alumni who join our inaugural class for the fall of 2025. You'll receive 1 free course after completing the first year. It's a savings of $2,200. Seats are limited. For some of you who are watching right now and are alum and are thinking, wow, I get advanced standing. What else do I get? You get this specialized scholarship. For all students as well, federal aid is available and is offered to those who are eligible based upon the FAFSA submission. Students can borrow up to $20,000 per year for the graduate coursework, which will cover more than tuition, books, etc. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to our admissions counselor. We'll have her information a little bit later, or you could reach out to admissions@cairn.edu. I think the final question that we usually get, Dr. Bose, is always about outcomes. What are the types of jobs or career paths that graduates typically pursue after finishing the program? Like, what real world terms, what payoff will they potentially expect to be able to see?
Yeah, so an EdD in educational leadership can prepare you for many different career paths, especially one from Cairn University where you're going to have that distinctively biblical integration into the curriculum. But I would say some areas where a person with this degree might serve would be something like a lead teacher in a school, a department chair in a school setting, a curriculum coordinator, an instructional coach, a school administrator, as we mentioned before, principals, vice principals, district level administrators serving in a district office, and perhaps some administrators in higher education, depending on the type of office that you're working in. Certainly educational consultants, directors of children ministry, church professional organizations, nonprofits, those working in government agencies that are focused on education. These are just a few of the different career paths that graduates with an education doctorate would pursue.
Wow, a lot of trajectories. Thank you both for answering those questions. As we do wrap up our webinar today, I want to introduce one additional person who wasn't able to be here with us. Her name is Shelby Allen. She is the graduate admissions counselor for our EdD program. She's going to be the person, for those of you who are interested, who will be able to walk you through the application process, answer questions, and then redirect you if you need to talk to someone in financial aid or even someone who is in the School of Education. Now, we appreciate everyone who has attended this webinar. We thank you for joining us for this overview of our Doctor of Education program. A special thanks to both Dr. Bose and Dr. Ruiz Esparza for being here and being so helpful in providing us answers to our questions. Appreciate your insight, your passion for preparing educators to lead with conviction and excellence. For those of you at the end now, if you're interested in taking some next steps, we want to invite you to visit our website to continue to learn more about the program. You can go to cairn.edu/EdD. You can also schedule a one-on-one conversation with admissions counselor. Shelby is available, ready to take both emails and calls. You can email her at sallen@cairn.edu, or you can just simply email admissions@cairn.edu. For those of you who this has sealed the deal, that you said, I love all the information, this is for me, I see so many opportunities, the price is right, you can start your application right away by going to cairn.edu/apply and get that process started, and we'll continue to reach out to you. Now, for all of you, whether you're discerning your next academic journey or exploring how this program aligns with your calling, we're here to help. We thank you so much again for spending this time with us. We hope to see you either on campus, online, or in class very soon. Thank you so much for attending.